The core material that I always use are my master's literature. And those sets of books can take a whole life actually. Intellectually, what stimulates me are Gita and Ashtanga Yoga, especially the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, then Ashtavakra Gita. I also love Vasishtha Sanhita, which talks on consciousness. And more recently, I'm heavily involved with Narad Bhakti Sutras and Sandilya Muni Bhakti Sutras. I think when we go through all this, even as earliest in all this literature, the latest one is Patanjali Yoga Sutras. Rest of them are very old. Vasishtha Yoga Sanhita. It goes all the way back to Lord Rama's times. The same thing as Ashtavakra. And few thousand years later, the Gita. And many thousand years later, what came is this Patanjali's. But even ancient too, I can't figure the dates, but it must be around Lord Krishna's times. Narad Bhakti Sutras, and much later Sandilya Bhakti Sutras. And you can see how the evolution in Indian literature is happening. See, when you read the earliest most, especially Yoga Sanhita, Vasishtha Muni Yoga Sanhita, it's all about consciousness. Then when you read Ashtavakra Gita, it's all consciousness. When you read some of the dialogues happening between Lord Rama and his younger brother Lakshman in the forest, what else to do in the forest? But that also came up as a Ram Gita or Lakshman Gita. It's a few pages, hardly 15, 20 pages long. But that also talks about consciousness. Today's science, especially with neurology, they are struggling with what is this consciousness? But they had fathomed that, dissected the consciousness many thousand years back. And when we go through the psychological aspects in a very subtle way informed by Patanjali, I think today's psychology cannot be completed without including Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. It's very fascinating because he goes to the roots of it, Patanjali, and all this literature. When we talk of what is the greatest contribution of Indian philosophy to the world, it is the relationship between cause and effect. Today's psychiatric world is talking how to get rid of the effect. Allopathic medicine also, how to take care of the symptoms. Very few doctors will pursue to find the cause. You might say, oh, the cause, because you have migraine, they will say, that's why you have a headache. But what is the cause of this migraine? So Ayurveda deals with all that, see. Psychologically speaking, why does a man go crazy? So Patanjali explains all those things in details. He is trying to find the cause. Having known the cause, how to remove it? He doesn't talk about it. And that's what fascinates me. Why I love heartfulness? I tell you reason. You see, when Lord Buddha talks of nirvana and he gives eightfold path, but nowhere there is how of nirvana. Lord Krishna talks of Sthita Pragya state and describes in a very indirect way that it is something like a lotus leaf thriving in muddy pond without being affected by that muddy pond. It retains its own nature. Gita also doesn't talk of how. Astavakra Gita talks of this consciousness and Brahma, how to attain that state of Aham Brahmasmi. It talks that our nature, our basic nature is Brahma. How will you attain it? Lord Mahavir in Jainism talks of Kaivalya state. How? Kabir Sahib also. He describes the highest condition in a very indirect way, that it's like raindrops. The way they fall in the ocean becomes the ocean. The individual identity is lost. But how that Atman can merge in Paramatman, he cannot talk, doesn't talk. And it's only in heartfulness I find through Sahajmarg meditational practices that one can attain the highest. There are ways and means to attain the highest. Now the question is, do you really want it? Immediately question will come, what do I have to sacrifice? Nothing. Your time perhaps. You need few minutes in the morning, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the evening, and 5 minutes before you finally retire to bed so that you can offer a prayer. That's all. And see within 3 months where it takes you. Try it only for 3 months. Then you'll be able to understand what they've been talking of, what is Kaivalya, what is Nirvana, what is state of moksha, what is Sthita Pragya. Even when you don't know these terminologies, but when you feel it inside, experience it inside, then you'll be able to appreciate the books. Some gurus or some systems, they keep on saying, oh, you must recite this mantra. And I assure you, I'll give you this mantra. They give you all kinds of dikshas in mantras. Most famous is Om, Om, Om. You keep on reciting. Second one is Aham Brahmasmi. Keep on reciting till you become Brahm. But you're already one. Another सच्चिदानंद 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 बोलने से कुछ सच्चिदानंद हो जाएगा. Reciting will only downgrade you. It will blunt your consciousness. Imagine your phone conversation with someone who doesn't let you talk. You know, all of us face that sometime or the other in life. बोल करता ही रहता है अपन को. Then you feel like hanging the phone. Say mantras. You keep on reciting. You invoke God's presence. Om, 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 and God is listening very well, and then he gets fed up. This fellow is not listening to me. Disconnect.